How good is the new Suicide Squad? Before we begin, I will give you a little history lesson about the show, right? Which studio is the people who are actually animating the show? They're the people who actually give life to the show. I think this is a good way to try introduce you into the show to where you don't automatically hate it. So, Nagatsuki, right? The guy who's behind the original creator of Rezero is also going to be doing the original scripting behind Suicide Squad. He's also the person who did the scripting for Vivi. So, off the bat, off of those two animes alone, you suggest this guy is probably one of the best people in the entirety of the anime industry to give you a script. If he's able to captivate people in two different phases of like anime, right? Where you go long form, ReZero, I'm giving you anime for about 10 years and captivating you for about 10 years. That's one way to do it, right? The other thought, he did it with one season with Vivi. Two very completely different ways to captivate an audience. He has achieved both of them in anime. So automatically, you could label him as a genius when it comes to scripting and knowing what the fuck he's doing, right? Another person we gotta talk about here is IG, right? IG, he's also done ReZero before. He's also done VV before. He's also done the scripting for them. Very highly respected. So you have basically one of the top 3 studios for animation, and you can say you have one of the top 5 writers currently in anime doing the scripting, right? And now they are working on Suicide Squad. You gotta label this out to get people to understand what is going on, right? So, but Suicide Squad as a franchise has had disappointment and failure everywhere you want to look at it. So you type of Suicide Squad, what we get? We get the original 2016 version that everybody remembers, right? Cool. And then we get the reiteration of the show, new characters, new storyline, new actors, in the 2021 version, which everybody loved. You can't see it because of my camera, but everybody loved this. And that's 90% Rotten Tomato. You can have bias against Rotten Tomato, but I think everyone can admit that it was okay. It was a good film, right? But you have the game. Everybody hates this. This is an ass game. Just ass, okay? Anyone who's talked about it, it's bad, it's not good, it's very repetitive. I'm pretty sure it sold for like $60 too. I don't know exactly, but very cash grabby game. See, one of the first pictures is just like, This is a big stench on the franchise. So you have initial somewhat success with the original Suicide Squad. Everyone's like, okay, this is okay. You know, the idea is good. I don't know if it necessarily lived up to what it's supposed to do, but the idea everyone loved and appreciated. Then you get, really, in between this, you have the Harley Quinn show. I think everyone can agree we are here for Harley Quinn. No, I don't think there's any bias towards this. She's one of the best new female characters in the last decade that people love. This is a big reason why the show is gonna be getting some initial views, and hopefully they bring in some of the characters which they have already done from the Harley Quinn show into the anime. King Shark from this was put into the movie. He from this was then put into the anime. From the successful TV show, they now know a blueprint of what to do. Not to mention, they can take this, add it with actual geniuses in anime, and create a very decent product. Now, I've already looked at some other people's reviews and complaints about the show, and I'm not very surprised by it. With a company like DC, they're not going to give away their copyright to just anyone. They're not going to, even though these guys are geniuses and they're very highly respected, they are not going to give them the full keys to everything. So certain characters obviously are not going to be in the show that much. Joker, I'm even surprised I'm surprised they got this far. Like, him even being here is a big deal. Him being in the cover is a big deal. So I'm assuming they get to use Joker, but a little bit. They can't go crazy with the experimentation of Joker, but they can use him. Now, my hope is they follow this. They bring in Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is a big character for Harley Quinn right now. Love interest, best friend, whatever you want to call it. King Shark is there. I want me Poison Ivy. I don't know if we're gonna get Poison Ivy. She's not even in here. Hopefully, if this show does very well and we get a season 2, Poison Ivy gets added along to the cast, because it's shown to work. It's shown to be very successful with these two on the camera. Because let's be honest, with the Suicide Squad, Isekai, who on this list do you really care about? I think of course Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, Peacemaker. Good casting. The Joker for all of these movies has been ass. We all know the type of Joker that we like, and this ain't it. Ass. And then other casting is just brand new people, except for this guy. That's Clayface. This sentiment has already been said, and I agree with it. They have an uphill battle with this franchise. Suicide Squad just has a very negative point to it, and unless they have another successful run, people are just automatically gonna poo-poo it and trash it. Not to mention, and because it's like a Western title, people are automatically not also gonna like it, with them feeling like their anime is getting invaded by the West, right? Their idea of anime is getting invaded, right? Not to mention it's on HBO Max, which I'm not surprised by it being on HBO Max. It's DC, right? It's gonna be on HBO Max. Not surprising. But if it was on traditional places where people go to watch their anime, like Crunchyroll, that'd be different. That'd be completely different. I don't expect them to go to High Dive the number 2, but I think we expected it to be on Crunchyroll if you're really trying to push for normal anime fans, right? And then if you're not going to go for traditional way, you go to Netflix. I think Netflix is another good option you can go to instead of porting it on HBO Max, where a very small percentage of people are going to get it. But it's DC. They should have still had like split, like they shouldn't make an exclusive title. It should also be on Netflix. Here's a positive note for it being on HBO Max is DC over the last 10 years has been very successful in terms of people like audience retention when it comes to their animated products. So I will say concerns wise though, like I said, is the story. They are going to be very limited in what they could probably actually do. That is just the case with DC. And companies like Disney, they're not really going to be giving away their copyright and letting people go all out on characters. Like, these characters are very low risk. They don't, if this goes bad, these characters' brands don't go down. I will say this will, for a surprise for DC, that maybe they shock us and do something with this title, is Harley Quinn. They are banking on Harley Quinn. This is one of their golden gooses for the new generation of DC. If they're able to hit on a DC Harley Quinn animated series, anime, right? They know they could do something with this. They can drag this out for a couple of seasons, as their script writer has been known to do. This is a lot of pressure on the character of Harley Quinn and a lot of pressure on the scripting for the show, because if this succeeds, it's gonna last. I'll give you that. It just has to get past this initial phase and show the audience that it's actually going to be quality and good story writing. If it stays the same course and just be a 7 out of 10, people might forget about it. They'll be like, oh, I guess that was okay, but they got to do better than okay. They got to shatter some expectations to like really stick around. Here's the thing that caught me by surprise, right? If we go to this live chart, this kind of shows popularity for shows. Tell me, right, why isn't a Harley Quinn Isekai not one of the top ones at all? Like, why? Why is it not on the first row, the second row, or the third row when it comes to popularity? That's a problem. I think that has to play with it being on HBO Max and on a Crunchyroll. I think that has a big thing to do with it. That is a missed opportunity. They should at least be on either Crunchyroll or Netflix. One of the two. They can be on HBO Max for their fans, but they should have also been on one of these other two streaming platforms. Because of that, they're making a Disney level mistake by putting it exclusively on their platform. That's a mistake. That is flat out a mistake, right? I get it. I get the idea behind it, but it's a mistake. Now, we're going to go to Mori here. I think everyone knows the streamer Mori to some degree if you like VTuber. She's probably my favorite VTuber, or one of them anyways, right? Iron Mouse is better, but she's awesome though too. So she is doing the theme as well as she's doing the ending for the show. And it is a banger, boys. I'm showing it. I'm going to get copyrighted probably a little bit for it, but I don't care. You guys have to hear some of this. So we're going to start with the intro. It's clean. Just clean. I didn't look up the lyrics for the opening, but like you can just hear this and it's like that mystery, almost a little Batman, almost a little Lupin, like it's good. It's good. You gotta look at it. You gotta be like, it's a banger. It's a certified banger. I saw this from Chibi and he was fucking correct. This ending is a fucking, yeah. For everything Suicide Squad related, heavy is the crown, Heavy is the crown. I say this only with shows like a Suicide Squad and franchises like a Suicide Squad. It is so heavily dependent on the female lead of Harley Quinn. She has to carry this franchise. If she's not here, we don't care. that will necessarily turn you off of the show, but it's not anything that will make you really remember the show, which is very unfortunate. But we'll keep watching. This is only the first episode. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, of course. Are you going to be continuing to watch the show? Have you watched it already? How do you feel about the show? Will you be watching in the future and being a fan of the show? Are you mainly a fan of DC? Or are you a fan of anime? Let me know down in the comment section. But yeah, be doing more of these. Oh, baby, cooking with grease now. Okay. All right. I gotta talk about this.